And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. In the meantime here, let's keep it moving with some more of these top headlines, especially regarding the Trump administration, who works for it, who's about to be leaving, and all of it. I want to talk about, though, this major exclusive piece in the Wall Street Journal yesterday regarding Elon Musk, Doge, and Tesla. I'm reading from the Wall Street Journal piece right now. They say this, that about a month ago, with Tesla's stock sinking and some investors irritated about Elon Musk's White House focus, Tesla's board got serious about looking for Musk's successor. Board members reached out to several executive search firms to work on a formal process for finding Tesla's next chief executive. That's according to people familiar with the discussions. Now, tensions had been mounting at the company. Sales and profits were deteriorating rapidly, and Musk was spending much of his time in Washington. Now, around that time, Tesla's board met with Musk for an update. Board members told him he needed to spend more time on Tesla, according to people familiar with the meeting, and he needed to say so publicly. Musk did not push back. Now, in relation to the publication of this story, the chair of Tesla's board, Robyn Denholm, she put out this statement saying earlier today there was a media report erroneously claiming that the Tesla board had contacted recruitment firms to initiate a CEO search at the company. She says this is absolutely false, and this was communicated to the media before the report was published. She goes on to say the CEO of Tesla is Elon Musk, and the board is highly confident in his ability to continue executing on the exciting growth plan ahead. Also, as is in Musk fashion, he also commented on the report in the Wall Street Journal saying it is an extremely bad breach of ethics that the Wall Street Journal would publish a deliberately false article and fail to include an unequivocal denial beforehand by the Tesla board of directors. Musk still commenting on this piece just today, and he says this: it's not that all Wall Street Journal stories are fake, but they are almost all mean-spirited and deceptive. So I wanted to get all of that in there as we continue to discuss this story. In the meantime, we do want to bring into the conversation Doug Millburn. He's chairman of Protocase Companies. He's been following this as well, and he joins me. Doug, thanks for being with us here. You've obviously read this piece, and as is in Musk fashion, commenting as such here. Is Musk responding in a way, does he need to be more attentive to his companies, do you think?
You know, that's really interesting. I look at this, you know, the whole situation of Tesla getting attacked so hard for political reasons. Like, I admire Elon Musk, and if you're an entrepreneur, you have to admire the guy. And for his accomplishments, he's an incredible human being, you know, business polymath. And, you know, he got involved in politics, something I'm scared to do, and he is paying a price for it. You know, and he's taken some of his time, he's put into public service. I think, you know, Doge and going after government corruption is in every American's interest. So it's a little bit bizarre. You know, does he have to do more? I don't know. You have that role as CEO. You know, I have a CEO title in one of our companies. And what you have to do in the time commitment totally depends on how you structure your company. The important thing is that your company runs well. And I think Elon's companies do run well. So I don't know. He seems to be doing well to me. So.
Okay, we reported just last week, though, that some of Tesla's data and economic indicators were down. And so I just have to ask, maybe reiterate this, are his other businesses being neglected because of his government work? Now, he's a special government employee. He's not going to be there forever. Even at the cabinet meeting just yesterday, Trump was asked about Elon Musk's role, and Trump said this. He thanked Musk for his government service, but he said, you know, you're invited to stay as long as you want, Trump said, but I guess he wants to get back home to his cars. Is it time for him to say, get back home to his cars?
You know what? I'd say yes. I mean, he did that in service of his country. It was temporary. He's got to get back there. Now, let's keep in mind the problem that they're having at the company is not a problem of his making or it being run poorly. You could argue his decision to get involved in politics. You know, I mean, that's it. I mean, people out to sabotage him, keying cars, boycotting, and the like. And I mean, that's the root of the business problems, and you could criticize him for that. But I don't see anything that says that the company has lost its direction. It's just, it's really, you got a top guy who decided that your country's in crisis and he wanted to go in and help it. And he's paying a price. He's got attacked. He's got sabotage. And yeah, he had to get back to, he's got to get back to business at some point, put more into it. But the root of the problem is his choice to serve his country, and and not that he neglected it.
So do you think Musk likes government work? I mean, he's embarked on this incredibly ambitious effort with Doge, and they set quite an ambitious target. At the outset of the Trump administration, Musk wanted to find at least $2 trillion of cuts. So far, I believe they've only found about $160 billion. And, to the point that Trump is making, he's leaving government service soon, possibly sometime by the end of May here. Did he set his sights too high with Doge? How will we characterize Doge when Musk leaves?
Well, yeah, great question. And you know what? You got a bunch of questions there. Do you think he likes government work as an entrepreneur? Like and especially our company, we do business. We're a supplier to Tesla, and we on the innovation end of it, incredibly fast-moving company, right? They do stuff fast. He's got a vision. He wants to change the world. And government is the opposite. Government's about keeping the world the same and holding everything back, right? Yeah. And we entrepreneurs, when we look at government, I'd say all of us find it agonizingly painful to look at. And I think, does he like it? I think he looked at it and said, America's in trouble financially, and it needs help. Right. And I'd speculated whether he enjoyed it or not. I bet he didn't enjoy it. That's got to be a tough place to go for an entrepreneur. But so yeah, that's what all I can say about that.
Yeah, I'm not second guessing. I'm not second guessing, Musk's intentions for getting involved with Doge here. But at the end of the day, do you think I would, imagine that he may have felt like a fish out of water? To your point, entrepreneurs like things moving fast. Musk's mantra, the entire Silicon Valley mantra, is move fast and break things. But when you move fast and break things in a government bureaucracy, you kind of hit a wall sometimes, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Look, Andrew, like what do you do? Government bureaucracy gets bigger and bigger, and it just chokes everything. It kills everybody's prosperity. And, I know so many people work in the government. Most of them realize that. They wish it moved faster. I interviewed a guy in the government, for a job, this afternoon, a couple hours ago. And, his thing in government, he says he really wishes he could affect more change. And his inability to affect change is one of the biggest frustrations that people have in government. So, government's got to change. It's got to evolve. Spending has to get reined in, or you got a crisis going. So, yeah, no, I'm proud of the guy, what he did. I don't think he had any fun. He paid a price for it. I think every American should be incredibly grateful for what he did. I mean, number one, creating SpaceX and Tesla, and all the other companies in there underneath, and should be incredibly grateful for that vision for American manufacturing, American technology development. And then on top of it, that he poked his head into government and tried to take a kick at it. And, it's only 150 billion in savings. It's 150 billion of people's tax money that's not getting wasted or stolen, right? It's good. But I think it's amazing.
So I do have to note, though, on a conference call about earnings a couple of weeks ago, Musk did say, starting next month, I'll be allocating far more of my time to Tesla. This, of course, after the company said its first quarter profit had plunged 71%. Do you think his government service, though, has impacted his brand negatively? Do you think that?
Oh, well, it's interesting. Look, I have another company in, it's kind of the energy efficiencies. We make the world's best insulating glass. And, and this whole thing of who buys and why they buy, we create naturally lighted buildings in that company, and that are incredibly energy efficient. Some people buy it because it's green and they want to, impact the planet. Other people buy it because they want better buildings. People buy Teslas. Some people buy Teslas, and this is the brilliance of Musk, because they go, 0 to 60 in ridiculously few seconds. Other people want to do something for the planet. And this bizarre, almost surreal situation where people want to save the planet by electrifying have bought into the issue that he has different political opinions, and even most perversely, that he's going after government corruption, which I think every side of the political spectrum should respect. And yeah, it's he's been politically attacked, And unfortunately, some people put politics ahead of, American technology, American business, American jobs, great cars, and electrification. That's too bad. I really think it's misguided. And if people like Elon can't go in and help the government out, the government's in trouble, right?
So I'm asking these questions myself too, because he will leave the Trump White House soon. And I'm just kind of curious, how will he see his time there at the White House? Do you think he will see it as an accomplishment? And do you think he will take some type of hiatus from just politics in general? Those are the questions I'll be looking at in the future here. Last thoughts, Doug, to you.
You know what? I'd love to speculate on that. My bet is that it was agonizing. He paid a big price when we're talking about hurting Tesla and getting attacked. I'm not sure he'd love to do a bunch more of that, but I bet you he's proud as punch for taking a kick at making your country better. So.
All right. Doug Millburn, thanks so much for your time. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, in the meantime here, last thought on this. We did get some new Fox News polling about how Americans are feeling about Doge itself. Live picture there at the White House. And I just want to read this from the Fox News polling outfit. They say on the Department of Government Efficiency's efforts to reform the federal government, almost half say it is likely Doge will make government more efficient. 49% say to improve the economy. 47% say that, and improve government services, 46% say that, while fewer expect it will lower their taxes, 43%. That was a poll taken between April 18th and April 21st, and the sample size was registered voters nationwide with a plus or minus 3% margin of error there. So wanted to get that in as well. Well, we are fast approaching the top of a new hour. Let's take yet another quick commercial break. Hope you found that conversation informative. That's what we do here on Live Now. We have the time to get into some of these really, really key high-profile stories, and we're going to continue to do it. We'll see you after the break.